So, have you ever been chased up the stairs by something that you couldn't see or like a cloud?
Well, no, not a cloud.
Not a living person.
No, no. I could say no.
Okay, so I have. So several years ago, I went to a home. I was asked to go to a home. They were having a lot of activity in the home and they couldn't explain. So paranormal meaning next to normal, activity, unexplained events. They had a young child, and so it was a little frightening for them. They didn't know what was happening. And the child was expressing,
Mhm.
seeing and hearing. And so it scared the parents. So they called me in. I went in, and as I'm going through the house, I'm not the medium that's going to go in there and banish thee. Blow smoke. I'm not going to, I just don't. It's just not my style. If you do that, great. I don't. So I'm walking through the house and I'm doing my thing and I'm getting the information and I'm in the basement of this home. Home was probably built in the 1920s, I'd say. So I'm in the basement. It was a regular basement, not a dug basement. And I'm at one corner of it and I felt this chill go down my spine. And I turned around and for some reason I thought, I think I'm gonna leave the basement now. I got afraid or something, I got scared. I went to the bottom of the stairs and I thought, no, I'm not gonna do that. And I turned around and all of a sudden I could not see the other side of the room. It was though a thick gray mist had formed in front of my face and I couldn't see past it. Connie, fight or flight kicked in for me. And I tore up those stairs. I probably think I maybe hit every other stair, if that. Boom, 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 boom. I was up there, up at the top of the stairs. By the time I got to the top of the stairs, I got mad. Because I was mad at myself for my reaction.
Yeah.
I was mad at, what is this information? Why did it frighten me so? I turned around the top of the stairs and I said, oh my God, stop it. And really, in essence, it was talking to me.
Yeah.
Because that was just information. My brain took that information from the moment I felt the chills up my spine. And by the time I got to the other side of that room and I turned around, I do believe that I was seeing the energy. I was literally physically seeing energy.
Mm-hmm.
But the way that I saw it, it frightened me.
Yeah.
And again, fight or flight kicked in.
Right. Very instinctual.
Very instinctual. And that's what happens most often when we experience paranormal activity. Our brain says, that's not supposed to be there.
Right.
Run.
Run. I don't know what this is. Get out of here.
Right.
And again, the brain will always go to what it knows or what it thinks it knows, based on any framework or definition. We've talked about this before. If you have definitions of culture, upbringing, religion, or Hollywood movies, the brain says, I know what this is. It's a gray mist. Cool. Right. And then like you say, instinctual, then you just react to that. Until the point you got up to the stairs and said, nope, you're not going to do this to me.
Exactly. Stop it. And again, talking to myself.
Yeah.
And to this energy, because I felt in that moment, I had to take charge. I didn't take charge of myself, and I had to take charge of what I was experiencing. So with that being said,
a lot of people would say, was that a stuck soul?
Exactly.
Yes.
Why is that gray mist there? They can't leave. This person couldn't come up the stairs, or they couldn't do this. Not so. So being a professional psychic medium, I will get angry at myself for it, but I gathered myself back. We go into businesses, we go into homes. We have people come into the Purple Door, where we're from, the store that we have, and people will talk about, I've got this happening, and they're terrified. They're absolutely terrified. They're being told that somebody is stuck. There's an energy that's stuck in the space, either because they built the home, they lived in the home, the space, they died in the home. And even the television shows that you watch, more often than not, the deaths that they talk about that happen are tragedies. And so the belief there is that if it's a tragic or a fast passing, the person doesn't know they're dead. Yeah. And so they keep looping and they're stuck in this space. We talked in one of our other videos about religious beliefs. So if you have a religious belief that you will be stuck on earth or bound to earth or hell or purgatory,
Right.
or heaven, if you believe there's levels, right, then you're going to believe that that person is stuck and they don't know their way out.
Right. The difference, I'm sorry.
No, go right
The
ahead.
difference that we put with the memory of the life lived, whether it's active or a loop, right? Something that
Yes.
is a different part of our existence than the consciousness of the high self. We're always that spark of consciousness and energy. And then the memory of the life lived is like a chapter in that. So we're always active and in the purity or the pure states, but our story might get repeated or felt again as information.
Right.
So we can get stuck.
Right. So in the instance of that particular home that I was in where I got that gray mist,
Mhm.
and when I calmed myself down at night and I went in and really started to communicate with the energy of the life that had lived there. The person did not pass in the home. We were able to validate information through records, public records, but the person didn't pass in the home, but was a very strong personality, was somebody, we were able to corroborate through neighbors, but was a very strong personality, not necessarily the friendliest person. And so, you know, that information would come through as, you're a stranger, what are you doing in my basement?
Yeah.
This is my space.
Right.
And not that the spirit is there saying, get out.
Right.
But it was the memory of that. Had I been living in this space and you came into my house and were blowing smoke at me, I'd ask you to leave. But it's energy.
Yeah.
It's just the energy, and the energy is the memory. The old commercials, is it live or is it Memorex?
Right.
Right? It's energy. And so why are we afraid? You know, another example, Connie, is that people that have been murdered or very, very tragic events, people,
Through accidents.
an accident or something, you know, that people feel like they're going to go into that space or even on the road or in an area,
Yeah.
and that area is going to be haunted because people will feel that. Now, when you feel that, you feel that thing on the back of your neck, it's because you're feeling energy. It's not because that space or that area or that side of the road is haunted. It's because the energy is left there as in gathering information. Oh, this is what happened. The energy altered. If you rub your hands together really hard,
Yeah.
right? If you did that, and then you pull your hands apart, you feel that buzzing sensation. You create friction. Friction creates negative ions. You can literally feel the negative ions. Well, if an energy of information alters the ionic structure of the oxygen or the air around us, why wouldn't you be able to physically feel that?
Right.
So you can turn it all back into science and not spirituality.
Right. It's the energy, the consciousness, the information in that consciousness that our brains pick up, interpret, and let us know. And it's framed by our beliefs. So again, if you believe in stuck souls, then it will present itself as a stuck soul. But we have free will and choice. They have free will and choice. There's nobody stuck.
No.
And it's not a person that's stuck. It's the memory being expressed again, the memory being active again.
They are not stuck in their death.
Right.
They're not stuck in their death. The emotional component of the human is in life. The emotions are the physical
Right here.
manifestation of us. We are emotional beings, but we are intuitive beings. That's where the emotions are. Once our energy changes and the physical no longer exists, the emotions can be looked at like a third party experience. I'm going to say that I understand this from first-hand information because I did have a death experience. And people will talk about the death experience as being very peaceful,
Right.
very calming. You know, but it all depends on where you come from. I do
Right.
believe that as well, where your frame of reference is. Suicides, Connie.
Yeah,
Suicides.
so a lot of people will express, are they at peace now? Are they at rest? Are they still suffering? Have they,
alone?
are they alone? Are they stuck in a purgatory place? Those kinds of things. And our experience, again, reframed our definition based on the readings and everything. And we like to say the person that committed suicide came in right next to his grandmother,
Right.
kind of thing. So there wouldn't be a separation in energy if they came in together, and very much neutral or unemotional, just telling their story as to what happened.
From an observer perspective.
Yes.
Right, so there's objective and subjective.
Right.
The spirit then can tell their story from an objective perspective.
Uh-huh.
You know, in the physical, it would be subjective, right? But even though the subject is them, they look at it as though it is not. So people will say, well, you know, how come nobody's ever screaming when they come in, or crying, or angry? You know, aren't you
Right.
ever afraid? No, because
Right.
they're just relaying. It's like third party. Oh, let me tell you about, you know, if I come in, I'm in spirit, I come in, let me tell you about Susan.
Right.
I'm going to tell you what happened to her. So it's that kind of a thing.
Right. Now, they do come in to bring comfort to us. They will relay their story
Yes.
to kind of make that connection to you, but they're not reliving it.
No,
No,
we're not
so-
reliving it. If there is no turnover.
No.
Nobody's turning over.
No,
There is nobody rolling over in their grave.
Yeah.
They took care of that a long time ago when they put the bell, right? So they didn't bury
Oh.
people alive.
Yeah.
But yes, there's none of that happening. There aren't people that are, you know, freaking out because, you know, the family is having an issue, or that, you know, you didn't bury them in the right spot. That is not happening.
Right.
So rest, right?
Yeah.
They're at peace. Now we need to be at
Yeah.
peace within their rest.
Yeah.
So the rest and peace goes both ways.
Yes, it's true.
So we hope this has been helpful for you. We do have more videos coming. Please feel free to watch us. We're also on YouTube. You can look up Everyday Conversations or just our names. I'm Sue Fiondak.
I'm Connie Wake.
We're from
Thanks
the
for
Purple
joining.
Door. You can reach us at the Purple Door at purpledoorsoulsource.com. Look up all the offerings we have. Our videos will be posted. We're also on Facebook.
So at social media things.
Yeah, everywhere. Yeah, we're trying to be everywhere. Also, our books are Everyday Conversations, The Key to the Contemporary Medium, Unlocking the Myths. And then we have a second book, which is actually a workbook for when you decide that you're going to unlock your ESP that's in your DNA,
Right.
and you want to do it. Get the workbook. It walks you right through. It's a class I've been teaching for 13 years. And do it on your own. Great fun. So thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you again. Thank you.
So
Bye.
long.